Hey guys, welcome to our channel, and if you're not new, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the K1 visa process, which is the fiance visa process. So I'm going to be talking about the steps from beginning to end. So if you're interested in doing the fiance visa process, but you don't know the steps, watch this video. Or you're currently in the process and you don't know what happens next, this video is also for you. So stay tuned. All right, so as many of you guys know, Julio and I did the K1 visa process in order for Julio to come into the United States for us to be together and be married. So if you're in that process and you're thinking, what do I do next? Or you're interested in, having your girlfriend or fiance coming into the United States for you both to be married, watch this video. I'm gonna take it step by step from the very beginning on what you need to do to the very end, which is the interview. Or maybe even after the interview when your fiance arrives into the US. So guys, let's get right into it. Step number 1, to file the I-129 form. You will need to download it off of the USCIS website. Make sure to fill it out completely and to review it more than once, honestly, more than 5 times, because you want to make sure that you answered every single question, provided every single detail for your case. The supporting documents as well, you're going to be submitting with the I-129 form. So that's pictures, messages, flight confirmation, passport stamps, but I won't get too much into detail about it. If you want a detailed video on how to complete the I-129 form, comment below and I will make sure to provide that for you guys. But I say to make sure to read over it and make sure every single detail is in there, because you can get an RFE. And what is an RFE? It's a request for more evidence. So maybe you didn't provide a signature somewhere, or you forgot, a passport stamp, and they're gonna ask you for that information. So that's gonna delay the process. So you wanna make sure to provide as much information and details as possible. Once you complete the I-129 form, I also recommend downloading the G1145 form, and that form is giving the USCIS permission to provide you with a text message or an email notifying you of your case. So an approval or notifying you that they're processing your case. They're gonna send it by text or message if you complete the G1145 form. And as I mentioned, you can download that right off their website as well. With that, you're also going to be sending a personal check, or you could be paying online, whatever the case may be. But like I said, I won't get too much into it because I want to give a step-by-step process of the K1 visa. So make sure to mail that out once completed. That is step number 1, guys. Step number 2, wait. Yes, you have to wait. And unfortunately, right now, as of 2022, the waiting process is 5+ months, guys. It's taking a very long time due to the pandemic and everything being at a standstill and them being backed up. So there is a longer wait time for the NOA2. I do recommend that your beneficiary, which would be Julio, I'm the petitioner. So always remember that petitioner is the person that's in the United States. The beneficiary is the person outside of the US. So I had Julio get his passport picture and get his passport, because once you get your NOA2, everything is just on a roll. So it's great to have that done, get it out the way, and at least you accomplish something during that time frame. So I will say for you guys to get your passport photos done and get your passport. Step number 3. You got your NOA2, guys, congrats! Celebration, guys. No RFEs because you looked over your paperwork thoroughly. So no RFEs, straight NOA2. Now that you received your NOA2, once again, guys, you're going to wait. I say that because your case is going to be sent to the NVC, and the NVC is the National Visa Center, and they're the ones that's going to be processing your case and then eventually sending it to the embassy on your behalf. So during this time, I would say to wait about 2 to 3 weeks to reach out to the NVC to see if they can provide you with a case number. Well, your case number. And with your case number, you're able to complete the DS-160. If you cannot get in contact with the NVC, you will have to wait for them to send you it by email, or they will mail it to you as well. Or if you're not in a rush, you're like, you know what, I can take my time, which I'm pretty sure most of us weren't, you know, you would call them. But if you're willing to wait, you can wait by email. They'll send you an email. They'll send you a letter in the mail as well, because I received both. Guys, step number 4, you got your case number. They're sending your case to the embassy. This is amazing. You guys are almost there. So during this process, I would say for your significant other that's outside of the US, also known as the beneficiary, to get their police certificate, their single certificate, and get any medical documents, anything that they need to collect, have them collect it at this time. I would say to wait a little bit for the police certificate, only because it does expire within 6 months, and due to the delay with, you know, COVID and everything that's going on, I would wait a little bit longer to get that, and it shouldn't take that long to get. Once they gathered all their information, you as a petitioner is going to file the DS-160 form online. And in order to fill that out, you're going to need your significant other's passport photo and also their passport number. So this is why I said get that done in between NOA1 and NOA2. So once you have that done, you're gonna fill out all the information on the application, and you're going to download and print the confirmation page and complete an applicant statement. And guys, that's it. That is step number 4. Step number 5, you guys are almost there. Next, you're going to email the embassy. We had to email Guyana because, like I mentioned, Cuba's embassy was closed. Well, it has been closed for years now. Not due to COVID, just they haven't been open. So they haven't been doing interviews. So we had to go to Guyana in order for him to complete the process of the K1 visa. I emailed the embassy notifying them that we are ready for an interview. I provided his name, his case number, my information in order for them to know who I am and who we are, in order for them to schedule an appointment for us for an interview. And I've also attached the DS-160 confirmation page and the applicant statement. And guys, if you don't know what the applicant statement is, it's just the name, location, number, and if they're going to be attending the interview alone. Now that you've sent them the email, you just have to wait for them to send you a packet. And once you receive your packet, guys, that's it. You get your confirmation. That's when they tell you, hey, your interview is this day, at this time, at this location. So guys, congrats, you have your interview. What next, right? What am I gonna do next? Step number 6, you're gonna book your flight. You're gonna book your hotel stay, anything you may possibly need for your trip for your significant other. So at this time, you also have to pay a fee for the interview, and I believe as of right now, 2022, it's $265. It hasn't changed since the last time we filed, and we filed in 2019. So fingers crossed it doesn't go up. Hopefully it goes down, if anything, but I don't see that changing anytime soon. So you'll need to pay for that. For those who have their visa in Guyana, and are Cuban, you're gonna have to wait until you're actually in Guyana to pay for that fee. Only because, of course, your significant other isn't from Guyana, so how are we gonna be able to pay it? So you have to wait until you're actually in Guyana to pay for that fee. All right, guys, step number 7, we're almost done. Almost done. Step number 7 is for you to reach out, you meaning the petitioner or the beneficiary, to reach out to the medical office to schedule a medical exam for the beneficiary to complete before the interview. This is a requirement, guys. You have to get your medical done, and it's most likely vaccinations and like checkups. So you have to schedule that once you have confirmation of your interview. They're going to ask you for the packet as well. And the packet, like I mentioned, is the interview date, time, and location. That's giving them confirmation that they can schedule an appointment for you to complete your medical. Guys, this is a stressful process. It is not easy, but it is worth it because you get to have your loved ones here. So once you've done the medical exam, you're gonna go back to their offices to retrieve all the documents, and they're gonna have it in a closed envelope that you cannot open. You're gonna give that to the person who will be doing your interview. So no opening that envelope, that stays shut, but you will have to pick it up before your interview. Step number 8, guys, what? Is the interview. Finally, you're at the final step of doing the interview. Make sure you have all your documents. And I forgot to mention this before, guys, you should always make a copy of everything. Your supporting documents, your I-129, every single thing. You need to have everything copied. But we can talk in detail when I do a detailed video for I-129 if you're interested, and all the other documents that's needed. So you guys are at the interview. Congrats! They're approved to come to the US. You did it! You guys made it! Congratulations! What happens next? They're gonna start processing all the information, and they're gonna start creating your K1 visa. And they do take your passport at the interview, so just FYI, always bring in an ID. In order to retrieve your K1 visa, you need some type of identification. If they took your passport, then you need some other identification. So make sure to bring your ID from your country. It doesn't have to be US ID, of course, because you're not from the US. So make sure to bring an ID. Do not forget that, super important. Once they're done with that, and they say it's ready for pickup, you'll pick up your K1 visa, guys, and you can book your flight and out of there, you're in the US. You guys did it. You guys did it, finally. So that was basically our process, guys, and I'm pretty sure it's the same, you know, for everyone. But those are the steps for the K1 visa, guys. So please make sure to have all your documents ready and done completely and thoroughly. It's so important because you don't want to have any delays, since there's already so many delays already in the process. But I will say, guys, you have to be patient. This is like the most stressful thing. For Julio and I, we applied September 2019. We got our NOA2 January 2020. His case was ready by February. We originally had our interview scheduled for May 2020, guys, but it was canceled. And you guys know why? Because of COVID. So we were super stressed. It was a very stressful situation because we couldn't even see each other. We couldn't even be with one another. So when I tell you, I completely understand how it feels like not to have your loved one with you, and you know, not being able to see them at least because of the pandemic. I completely understand. And big hugs from me to you, because guys, it was hard. My big advice is for you to be patient, and it just works out in the end, guys. He came at a perfect time. So I don't regret doing it. I know people are like, I don't know whether I want to do the K1 visa or the CR1 visa. What I will say is that the K1 visa is normally faster than the CR1 visa. And I personally think it's beneficial for us because you get to be with them sooner, like they come here faster. So personally, if I had to do this again, I would still choose the K1 visa. CR1 is great. I know it's less expensive, but it is kind of expensive up front because you have to plan the wedding, you have to do everything all at once. While with the K1 visa, you're paying for the whole process. And eventually when they get here, you're getting married. The good thing is that you can get married and then eventually have a bigger wedding once your beneficiary, who is Julio, my husband, once they start working, you guys can plan for a bigger wedding, which is what we're doing. So it depends on your situation and your relationship, whichever works best for you. So I can't really say whether you should do the K1 or CR1, but the K1 visa was the best one for us. Questions I'm thinking in my head that you guys may ask is, do I need a lawyer to complete the K1 visa process? No, you do not. I did not have a lawyer throughout this whole process. I personally felt like you didn't need one once I figured out what the steps were. Now, if you do have a record or your beneficiary has a record, you probably want to see or get recommendations or advice on if that is the best step for you, or if you can actually complete the K1 visa. So I would say it depends on your situation, but you typically do not need a lawyer. And guys, this is crucial. Crucial. You have to get married within the 90 days of them arriving in the US. Super, super important. Because if it's 91 days, guys, they're illegally in the United States. So you have to get married within the 90 days. Even if it's on the 90th day, you have to get married. So that is what you guys signed up for. So make sure to get married within that time frame. So important. All right, guys, last part of this video, I'm going to be talking about several Facebook groups that helped Julio and I throughout the whole K1 visa process. If it wasn't for these groups, honestly, guys, I don't even know if we would even be here right now. They've been so helpful throughout this whole entire process. So I want to make sure to give them a quick shout out. And if you're interested in joining, I do highly recommend. First group I recommend is My Heart is in Cuba. The moderator is from Canada, but she's amazing, very supportive and very engaging. It's very family oriented, guys. So if you're looking for a support group, I highly recommend My Heart is in Cuba. Next group I recommend, California Dreamin' Cuba. And in that group, me as a practitioner as well as Julio can both be in the group, and they speak English and Spanish. So if Julio may have any questions, he would write it in the group. If I had any questions, write it in the group. And guys, this group has been so supportive, so helpful. They have so many documents on not only the K1 visa, but the CR1 process as well. So if you're juggling between, I don't know which one I want to do, I would join that group, and maybe they can answer questions that, would be helpful. So I definitely recommend that group. Next group I do recommend, and you and your beneficiary can join as well if they're from Cuba, is Cuba K1 Fiance Visa. That group is also very helpful, especially when it came to finding flights for Julio to get to Guyana. I recommend those three groups to join if you're interested in learning more about the K1 visa process, or you just, want to have a support group throughout this whole entire process and your spouse is in Cuba, your fiance is in Cuba. All right, guys, that is the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. And like I said, if you have any questions, comment below. I can create another video explaining the I-129 if you're interested in any other documents that you may have questions about. in a later video. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.